My girlfriend said over Christmas dinner, "You're not what I expected when we started dating," in front of my entire family. I replied, "What did you expect?" She said, "Someone successful, ambitious, rich. I think we should break up." When I revealed I'd just sold my startup for $8 million, I just hadn't told her, and then I, 29 male, am still processing what happened 3 days ago at Christmas dinner, but I need to get this out somewhere because my brain is absolutely fried. Quick background. I've been with my girlfriend for about 18 months. Met her at a mutual friend's birthday party. She's gorgeous, charming when she wants to be, and I genuinely thought we had something real. She works in pharmaceutical sales, makes decent money, drives a leased BMW, and is very, let's say, status conscious. Designer bags, name dropping, the whole thing. I never minded because I thought underneath all that, there was a real person. Here's what she didn't know about me. For the past 4 years, I've been running a small software company out of my apartment with 2 college buddies. We built enterprise security tools. Nothing sexy, just boring B2B stuff that actually worked. I drove a 2019 Honda Civic, wore jeans and hoodies, lived in the same modest apartment I'd had since college. To her, I was a tech guy who did computer stuff and made an okay salary. What she didn't know, we'd been in acquisition talks for 8 months. The deal closed on December 19th, $8 million. Split 3 ways after taxes and fees. I walked away with roughly $2.4 million in my pocket. I hadn't told anyone except my parents and my business partners. Wanted to surprise her on New Year's Eve, maybe propose, the whole thing. Yeah, about that. Christmas dinner at my parents' house. My whole family was there. Mom, dad, my sister and her husband, my grandmother. My girlfriend had been weird all week. Distant, checking her phone a lot, short with me. I figured holiday stress. We're all sitting around the table, just finished the main course, and my mom asks my girlfriend about her work, trying to include her in conversation. Normal stuff. My girlfriend sighs dramatically, puts down her fork, looks at me with this expression I'd never seen before, like disappointment mixed with contempt. "Actually," she says, "I've been thinking a lot lately, about us." The table goes quiet. My sister's eyes went wide. "You're not what I expected when we started dating." I blinked. "What do you mean?" "I mean," she gestured vaguely at me. "This. You. I thought you'd be further along by now, more ambitious, more successful." My mom's jaw literally dropped. My dad set down his wine glass very carefully. "I'm doing fine," I said, genuinely confused. "The company's doing great, actually." "Your little computer thing?" She actually rolled her eyes. At Christmas dinner, in front of my grandmother. "You work from your apartment in sweatpants. You drive a Honda. You've worn the same jacket for 2 years." My sister, "Okay, I think maybe we should." "No, I need to say this." My girlfriend turned to me fully. "I think we should break up. I need someone successful, ambitious, someone who's going somewhere. I'm 27. I can't waste more time hoping you'll figure your life out." Dead silence. My grandmother was clutching her napkin like it personally offended her. I sat there for a moment. The irony was so thick I could taste it. 4 days ago, I deposited $2.4 million. I was planning to propose to this woman in 6 days, and she was dumping me at my parents' Christmas table because I drove a Honda. "What did you expect?" I asked quietly. "Someone rich, someone who could give me the life I deserve, not someone content to just exist." My dad started to stand up, face red, but I held up my hand. "That's interesting," I said. "Really interesting timing, actually." "What's that supposed to mean?" I pulled out my phone, opened my banking app, slid it across the table to her. "The little computer thing sold last week. That's my share, after taxes." She looked at the screen, looked at me, back at the screen. Her face went through about 7 different colors. That can't be. 2.4 million, give or take. But you never said anything. You drive a Honda. Because I'm not flashy, because I wanted to be with someone who liked me, not my money. Congratulations. You just answered that question pretty definitively. She started crying. "I didn't mean it like that. I was just stressed. You meant every word." I stood up. "You just broke up with me in front of my entire family because you thought I was a loser. Well, Merry Christmas. You're single now." "My mom, you should probably go, dear." My girlfriend looked around the table for support and found none. My grandmother was actually smiling. My sister's husband was trying very hard not to laugh. She grabbed her purse and left without another word. I heard her car peel out of the driveway. My dad poured me more wine. Well, that was something. My grandmother patted my hand. I never liked her anyway, too much perfume. I thought that was the end of it. I was wrong. Update 1, 4 days later. The text started Christmas night. I'd blocked her number, but she found workarounds. First came the I made a mistake phase. Messages from her work phone, from her sister's phone, from random numbers I didn't recognize. Please let me explain. I was stressed about work stuff you don't know about. I didn't mean it the way it sounded. Can we just talk? I ignored all of them. Then came the actually it's your fault phase. This was around December 27th. You lied to me for 18 months about your money. How was I supposed to know? You dressed like a college student. This is entrapment or something. You set me up to look bad in front of your family on purpose. The mental gymnastics were Olympic level. I screenshot everything and kept ignoring her. December 28th, her mom called my mom. Yeah, let that sink in. My mom told me about it over coffee. Apparently, her mom demanded that I do the right thing and take her daughter back because she made one little mistake, and clearly they were meant to be together. My mom's response: your daughter publicly humiliated my son because she thought he was poor. Now that she knows he's not, she wants him back. That's not love, that's gold digging. Please don't call here again. Her mom called her a bitter woman raising a bitter son. My mom hung up. December 29th, things escalated. I was at a coffee shop working on laptop stuff, figuring out next steps, talking to a financial advisor, normal post-windfall things. Guess who walks in? My ex. And she wasn't alone. She had her sister with her, who I'd only met twice and who'd always given me "you're not good enough" vibes. We need to talk, my ex said, sliding into the booth across from me uninvited. No, we don't. Her sister. Look, she made a mistake. People say things they don't mean when they're stressed. You can't throw away 18 months over one bad dinner. She didn't say one thing. She listed reasons why I'm beneath her, in front of my grandmother. My ex, I was wrong, okay? I admit it, but you have to understand my perspective. You never told me about the money. You let me think. Let you think what? That I was a regular person with a regular job? The horror. I would have acted differently if I'd known. That's exactly the problem. Her sister leaned in. Okay, let's be real here. She's apologized multiple times. You're being petty now. Just because you have money doesn't mean you get to punish her forever. I closed my laptop. She didn't apologize. She explained why her behavior was actually my fault. There's a difference, and I'm not punishing anyone. I'm just done. My ex started crying. I love you. I know I messed up, but I love you. We were going to have a future together. We were. Past tense. You killed it. So that's it? 18 months means nothing? Apparently it didn't mean much to you when you thought I was broke. I got up to leave. Her sister grabbed my arm. You're making a huge mistake. She's the best thing that ever happened to you. She literally said I was a loser with no ambition 5 days ago. She was venting. God, men are so fragile. I pulled my arm away and left. Heard my ex sobbing behind me. Felt bad for about 3 seconds, then remembered the look on her face when she said I wasn't what she expected. That night, I got a text from my best friend. Dude, your ex is posting cryptic stuff about narcissists who can't forgive and dodging bullets. Thought you should know. Didn't look. Didn't care. But I should have been paying more attention. Because she was just getting started. Update 2. 1 week later, January 4th. New Year's came and went. Spent it with my family instead of proposing to a woman who thought I was beneath her. Actually had a great time. My sister's husband and I got drunk and played video games until 3 a.m. Healing, or whatever. Then January 2nd happened. I got a call from my business partner. He sounded concerned. Hey, did you tell your ex details about the acquisition? What? No. Just that it happened and the amount. Why? Because someone's been posting on LinkedIn about our company, anonymous account, but they're claiming the sale was inflated and that there are undisclosed liabilities. It's obviously BS, but our lawyers are getting nervous. My stomach dropped. You think she? I don't know who else would have motivation to mess with you right now. The posts were vague enough to not be legally actionable, but specific enough to be annoying. Implied our security software had known vulnerabilities, and the acquiring company overpaid significantly. None of it was true. Our product was solid. Due diligence took 5 months, but the acquiring company's PR team was not happy and started asking questions. I called my lawyer. He said unless we could prove who was behind the anonymous posts, there wasn't much to do legally. But he did send a general cease and desist to my ex's known email addresses, warning that any defamatory statements could result in legal action. Her response? She had her sister call me. "You're threatening to sue her? Are you serious right now? Someone's spreading lies about my company. If it's her, she needs to stop. It's not her. She's devastated. She's barely eating. Then she has nothing to worry about. You know what? You deserve to be alone. You're cold, heartless. She's better off without you. Cool, then everyone's happy. Stop calling me." January 3rd, my ex showed up at my apartment building. I wasn't home, was at my parents' house helping my dad with some yard work. But my neighbor texted me. "Some woman's been sitting in the parking lot for like 2 hours. She knocked on your door a bunch of times. She's crying in her car now. You okay?" I called building security and explained I had an ex who wouldn't leave me alone. They asked her to leave. She did, but not before leaving a letter under my door. The letter was something. 6 pages, handwritten. I'll summarize. She loved me more than anyone she'd ever been with. The Christmas dinner thing was because her coworker had just gotten engaged to a surgeon and she felt inadequate. She'd been performing for her family her whole life and took it out on me. If I could just give her another chance, she'd prove she loved me for me. Also, she quit her job because she couldn't focus, and her lease was up in February, and maybe we could start fresh together. The audacity was breathtaking. She quit her job. Her lease is ending, and her solution was, move in with me? The guy she dumped for being a loser? I didn't respond. Showed the letter to my lawyer, who added it to the file. Then came the nuclear option, January 4th. My ex's mother showed up at my parents' house. My mom called me, furious. "This woman is in my driveway screaming about how her daughter's life is ruined and it's your fault." What? She's saying you tricked her daughter, that you owed her honesty about your finances, and that you're destroying her by refusing to reconcile. Mom, I'm so sorry. Don't apologize. I'm handling it. My mom went outside. My dad followed with his phone recording. Smart man. Her mom, your son is a con artist. He pretended to be poor to trap my daughter. My mom, your daughter publicly humiliated my son at a family dinner because she's shallow and materialistic. Now she's stalking him because she found out he has money. That's not his fault. That's her character showing. She loved him, and he threw her away like garbage. She called him unambitious and said he wasn't successful enough. In front of his grandmother, on Christmas. What exactly did you expect to happen? She was stressed. We're all stressed. Most of us don't respond by dumping our partners for being too poor in front of their families. Her mom started crying. She's not eating. She quit her job. She's falling apart. He has to fix this. My dad stepped forward. Ma'am, you need to leave. Your daughter is not our son's responsibility. She made her choice very publicly. Now she's dealing with the consequences. If you don't leave, I'm calling the police. She left, but not before screaming that we were heartless people and her daughter deserved better. My parents saved the video, just in case. That night, I got one final text from a number I didn't recognize. You're gonna regret this. You can't just humiliate someone and walk away. Screenshot, sent to lawyer, blocked. Final update, 3 weeks later, January 25th. The LinkedIn posts mysteriously stopped after my lawyer sent a second, more aggressive letter threatening to subpoena IP records. Funny how that works. The stalking behavior also died down. Turns out her sister finally intervened, not to defend me, but because my ex's behavior was embarrassing the family. She got my ex into therapy. Good for her. Genuinely. She needed it. But karma, as they say, is a slow-moving bus. Here's what I learned through the grapevine, mutual friends, my sister's coworker who apparently knows her cousin, small world stuff. My ex didn't just quit her job. She burned bridges. Told her boss off in a spectacular fashion, citing personal stress and unsupportive management. The pharmaceutical industry is small. Word travels. She's been job hunting for 3 weeks with no bites. Her lease is up February 1st. Her parents aren't letting her move back home because of the scene she caused at that poor family's house. She's staying with her sister, who has a one-bedroom apartment and 2 cats my ex is apparently allergic to. The guy she was texting during Christmas week? Yeah, I found out about that. Turns out she'd been talking to some finance bro she met at a conference. Hedging her bets, I guess. He ghosted her when he found out she was jobless and living on her sister's couch. Poetic. As for the anonymous harassment attempts, the cease and desist letters apparently spooked her enough that she confessed to her therapist, who told her she needed to stop, obviously. The company stuff blew over once the acquiring company realized the posts were from a scorned ex and not a legitimate whistleblower. My lawyer said I could pursue a harassment case, but honestly, it would cost more in stress than it was worth. I just wanted her gone from my life. And she is, mostly. Last week I ran into her at the grocery store. Just random chance. She looked rough. Not in a satisfying way, just in a sad way. Tired. Lost. She saw me and froze. I nodded, kept walking. She followed me to the cereal aisle. Can we talk? Just for a minute? There's nothing to say. I'm sorry, really sorry. Not for any other reason than I hurt you and I was wrong. I turned to look at her. Okay. That's it? Just okay? What do you want me to say? I accept your apology. I hope you figure your stuff out. But we're done. I know. I needed you to know I'm working on myself. That I understand now why what I did was wrong. Good. I genuinely hope you become a better person. I loved you. I know you don't believe that, but I did. Maybe, but not as much as you loved the idea of something better coming along, and that's the problem. She didn't have a response to that. I paid for my groceries and left. That was closure, I guess. Not the dramatic confrontation the internet probably wanted, just a sad interaction between 2 people whose story ended badly. Where am I now? Honestly, I'm okay. Not great, not terrible. I took some of the money and invested it properly. Boring index funds, paid off my student loans, put a down payment on a small house. Still drive the Honda, still wear hoodies. Money didn't change who I am. The trust issues are real though. I downloaded dating apps, deleted them, downloaded them again. My therapist, yeah, I'm in therapy too, we should all be in therapy, says I need to work on not assuming everyone has ulterior motives. She's probably right. My family's been amazing. My grandmother sends me care packages with cookies and passive-aggressive notes about finding a nice girl who appreciates a good man. My sister checks in every few days. My parents are just steady. Grateful for them. My ex's mom never apologized for the scene at my parents' house. My ex never apologized for the LinkedIn stuff, though she stopped denying it was her. Some people just can't admit when they're entirely wrong. That's not my problem anymore. Do I regret how it went down? Sometimes I wonder if I should have just told her about the money earlier. Maybe she would have revealed her true colors sooner and saved us both time. Or maybe she would have faked it better and I'd have married a gold digger. No way to know. What I do know, she showed me exactly who she was when she thought I had nothing to offer. That's valuable information. Expensive lesson, but I could afford it. The ring I was going to propose with, returned it. Used some of that money to take my grandmother on a nice trip. She cried. Good tears, though. My best friend asked me recently if I was happy the money thing came out the way it did, in terms of exposing her. Not happy, I said, but grateful, I guess. Better to find out at a dinner table than in a divorce court. He raised his beer. To dodging bullets. To dodging bullets. That's it. That's the whole story. Thanks for letting me get it out. Time to close this chapter and figure out what comes next. And to anyone out there being told they're not enough by someone who claims to love them, you're enough. Find someone who sees that when you're driving a Honda, not just when you're depositing millions. Cool? Cool.